as I did. "I'm sorry, boy." I hoped my voice conveyed some reassurance. "I'm going to have to go for help. You just lie still until I get back." His tail thumped again, and it took everything I had to turn and leave him. As I ran, making for the farmhouse by the most direct route, I could barely suppress more tears. Why was I so useless? Surely 18 years should have been enough to overcome such a foolish weakness. Why did I never get any better? Just the thought, let alone the sight of illness, injury, or the inner workings of the body was enough to set me off and make me more useless than a newborn baby. I sped through dark brown fields which lay ready for spring planting, moving faster than was probably wise. But the thought of Rocky lying alone in a ditch drove me on. By the time I arrived in the clear space between the front of the farmhouse and the barn, I was ready to collapse. But a distant bark reached me from across the fields, sending a shot of energy coursing through my limbs. "Father!" I called between my gasps. "Come quick!" He appeared from inside the barn, his steps quick and his brow drawn.
"Delphine, what's wrong?"
I didn't usually make a fuss, so just the sound of my anxious tone had him worried. When he saw my expression, the lines of his face deepened.
"What is it, lass?" he barked. "What's happened?"
"It's Rocky." My breath had finally calmed enough for normal speech. "The earth shifted in the northeast field. There's a trench there now, and Rocky fell into it. I think he's injured, and—" I hesitated. "I couldn't get him out on my own." I finally finished in a defeated voice. Father sent me a sharp look, glancing toward the farmhouse, although there was no sign of my mother anywhere nearby. I knew better than to even allude to my weakness in her presence. Father had been with me the first time I encountered an injured animal as a child, and he had sworn me to utter secrecy, even from Mother. I had instantly grasped the shame I brought to the family by being so weak, so I had been careful ever since, although it hurt to keep a secret from my mother. But I didn't want to see her wounded by my impediment, not when she had already grieved so much at only being granted one child. Even back then, I had known that I carried the future of our farm on my shoulders. And how many times had Father said that farms required strength of both body and mind? "He's too far down," I added. "We need rope." I finally noticed the coil of rope slung over my father's shoulder, and affection rushed through me. Despite my unexpected arrival and his anxiety, my father had kept a level head, grabbing a potentially useful tool on his way out. If Father expected strength from me, he expected even more from himself, exemplifying the kind of person who kept a farm thriving and prosperous.
"Let's go, then,"
he said gruffly, clearly trying to hide his emotion over his beloved pet being alone and in danger. I nodded, trying to hide my exhaustion as I hurried to his side. He set out across the fields, and I followed close behind. But within a short distance, I realized he was holding back his pace for my sake, aware of the fatigue weighing down my limbs. "You go on ahead," I said. "I don't like the idea of Rocky lying there alone. Just don't try anything on your own. I don't think I could pull both of you out of there even with a rope." He paused, looking back at me with uncertainty. "Go! Go!" I flapped my hands at him, and he nodded once before increasing his pace. I followed as fast as I could push myself, the distance between us widening. Despite my warning, I doubted Father would wait for my arrival to begin the rescue process. I would likely find him in the trench with Rocky when I arrived. Sure enough, when I finally reached the spot, there was no sign of my father. Peering carefully over the edge, I saw him easing the rope around Rocky's middle, murmuring reassurances as he did so. I kept my eyes averted from Rocky's back legs, focusing on my father instead. "Really, Father?" I put my hands on my hips. "Do my words mean nothing to you?" He laughed gruffly.
"I'll be fine, lass. You know that."
He grinned up at me.
You get more like your